Hello there. If you are somebody or know somebody who is debating whether or not they should pop along to the Julian Batchelor Anti-Co-Governance Roadshow, even though he's got no experience, qualifications, or history in the topic whatsoever, or any of the things that he's talking about, and genuinely believes that God sat down and spoke to him one day, but you're still kind of curious about what he has to say, all you need to do is look at what happened in Ōtautahi Christchurch over the last couple of days with his protest down there. Not only was there 150 anti-protesters there fighting against what it is that he has to say, just look at who was involved in his meeting and who was involved in sitting down and paying attention to what was going on, because it really is a sideshow clown car of the worst people. For his security, he had white supremacists and neo-Nazis, actual neo-Nazis, standing guard over his event. Is that not a warning sign that the people that are listening to him are not that great? Then when you go inside and actually see who he had in there in the audience, it included people like Derek Tate, who's a Destiny Church pastor who set up the protests against Muslims the day after the shootings in Christchurch. He was in the audience to listen and see what had to be said. Lee Williams, a dude who got fired for being so incredibly racist, who tried to flee the country and recently came back with his tail between his legs and asked Liz Gunn for a job as an MP after complaining about her wearing a pounamu. He was in the audience. Helen Houghton, the head of New Conservatives, a party that celebrates things like taking away women's rights to choose anything, actually anything. She was in the audience. You have a huge amount of people who are really terrible, who are spreading hatred, misinformation, disinformation, and trying to get people angry and worked up, or hating on people simply based on things like their skin color. These are the people who are there supporting him and working for him at these events. So if you're debating whether or not you want to go along and listen to this person who literally has no qualifications, skills, or experience in anything to do with co-governance, Māori, Te Ao Māori, the treaty, any of that kind of stuff, he's basically a rich white dude with reckons telling you what to think. If you think you should go along and have a listen to it, then you know exactly who it is that you are supporting. Somebody who is quite happy to support Nazis and white supremacists and the most deplorable people we've got in our country at the moment. Maybe it's time to think of something else to do instead.